That one, and that one. So 3 cards turn.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
It's the first Monday night on a crisp October evening here in Beaverton, Oregon, just outside of Portland. And that means it's GLC Tournament night here at Clubhouse Games. They have Pokemon organized play events every Monday night at their brand new location. Let's check it out. I wanted to give everyone a taste of our local Gym Leader Challenge scene here in Portland. And this is a pretty typical turnout for our monthly GLC tourney, with 10 players showing up to play some GLC tonight. I myself was playing a bit of an untested pile that night, trying to make the new Joltik work with a bunch of bad basic attackers, and I did pretty terribly that night, so I'll be showing some better decks for our feature matches instead. This tournament was 3 rounds, and we were able to record some games from round 1 and round 2. Our first game we'll be featuring is between Landon and Rona, both playing a different flavor of Psychic deck with slightly different strategies. Tonight, Landon is on the Monkey Dory strategy, with Giratina loading damage counters onto his own Pokemon for Monkey Dory to then fling at his opponent for an extra 30 damage each turn. Rona is on a more straightforward Psychic strategy of powering up strong attackers with Malamar and Xatu, including the new Cresselia from Shrouded Fable. But she does have some interesting tech cards in her deck that will come into play in this match. I had to piece together both of these deck lists from the video footage, so I may be missing 1 or 2 cards for those who are curious. I know that I don't upload as regularly as I would like to, so if you want to be notified whenever there is a new video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to get notifications. And here we go. So Landon going to be starting us off, going first. And Landon starting off with an Inkay, going to bench the Monkey Dory and get the Darkness Energy onto it right away with a level ball. And Rona starting off with the Mew with the Bench Barrier ability as her active. It does have that Psi Power attack. And by the way, this Mew, very popular. Another reason why I think people should be playing more 70 HP basics instead of 60 HP, because that Mew can put 3 damage counters anywhere for 1 energy. And if you have a slow start and you've got a 60 HP basic stuck on your bench, that Mew can just go pop pop over 2 turns and that basic is gone. So Landon finds a Ralts with the level ball and goes back to Rona, going second, gets the player supporter, plays the Arven and finds a Buddy Buddy Poffin and Air Balloon. And by the way, for this video, since this is going to be 2 games, I fast forwarded through all of the shuffling and deck searching, so hopefully that should speed the gameplay up. Gonna use the Buddy Poffin for Rona, finds a Natu and a Tinkatink. Doesn't have the TM evolution. That's usually the home run with Arven, is to be able to do the TM evolution. Also doesn't seem to have an energy since she did not attack with Mew. Landon does have the Kirlia, and it's going to use Refinement here before playing the Mysterious Treasure. So we're going to see what he draws before searching for a Pokemon. Discarded the Psychic Energy to draw 2 with the Kirlia. Now I'm going to play Colress's Tenacity here. Get a Stadium and a Special Energy card. It's going to get Rainbow Energy and Dimension Valley. And I'm going to play Escape Rope here. Going to force Rona to sacrifice one of her bench Pokemon instead of the Mew, since this Monkey Dory is going to be able to attack this turn. I'm going to play the Rainbow Energy on the Monkey Dory as well, so we're going to be able to hold off on playing the Dimension Valley. Rainbow Energy puts a damage counter on the Monkey Dory, and he is going to send that damage counter over to the Tinkatink, which is interesting because the Tinkaton has 140 HP, so by putting the damage counter on it like that, it sets it up to be knocked out by Giratina later on if it does get evolved. And there's a Mysterious Treasure. Gonna get the Giratina out of the deck and gonna attack with the Monkey Dory. Mind Bend. And takes the prize with the Monkey Dory. 60 damage, 120 damage actually with weakness. A lot of Psychic Pokemon are weak to Psychic. Honestly, one of the worst game balance features of the old Pokemon TCG of having Psychic weak to itself. Anytime you have a color weak to itself, just doesn't really bode well for game balance, since it makes it so that that color's only counter then becomes itself. But I'm waxing on game design. I tend to do that. Air Balloon gonna go on the Mew, and a Cynthia from Rona. Gonna shuffle and get a new hand of 6 cards. Also found the Xatu before playing the Cynthia, and finally going to draw into some energy here. That's definitely what you want to see when you've got a Xatu in play, although the only target is the Tinkatink. Does draw 2 cards. Oh, Rescue Stretcher going to get back the Inkay. So getting her energy acceleration pieces online here. And it looks like a Necrozma appeared, likely from the Xatu draw. That's definitely who you want to start accelerating to. I'm going to attach from hand to, to the Necrozma. That Tinkatink is probably a couple turns away from being able to attack, since she needs a special energy on it as well, so it doesn't want to over-invest basic energies onto it. You only need 1 basic energy, because the Tinkaton needs a special energy to do its full damage attack for 2 energy. And now back to Landon. He's going to put a Fighting Fury Belt on the Giratina for plus 40 HP. I'm going to be doing plus 10 damage with that 130 attack. And that 40 extra HP on Giratina going up to 170, very relevant against the Necrozma, which does 160. He does have the Gallade in hand, but he's not decided if he wants to evolve yet. Okay, there's the Gallade. We've got Inkay on the bench. So now gonna be able to use Buddy Catch here to find any supporter from his deck. Doesn't have the energy acceleration though. Possibly doesn't have the energy. All right, grabs the Research off of the Buddy Catch. Gonna just get rid of this hand. Although he does have the Dimension Valley to play first. And then gonna research away the rest of the cards. A couple of supporters, it looks like. Tulip and a Raihan, I believe. And already up a prize. Looking to probably take another one. I believe the Mew has... Yeah, Mew has 60 HP, so Monkey Dory can take another knockout on this Mew. And get rid of the Air Balloon. Air Balloon was played before the Cynthia was played. But it seems that Rona decided she just wanted to sacrifice the Mew for now, as that bench barrier is not super relevant in this matchup. In fact, not relevant at all. So it makes sense to sacrifice the Mew. We're going to see a Darkness Energy attached to the Gallade, setting up for that Swirling Slice attack. And then Monkey Dory going to go ahead and take the knockout with, I believe it's, I don't even remember what the attack's called, but it does 60 damage for 2 energy and confuses. So that's going to take down the Mew. Rona going to promote the Necrozma, now battling into a 2-prize lead on Landon's side. And I'm going to use Teammates here, thanks to Mew getting knocked out. Not sure what you grab, but I'm sure we're going to see, usually when a Teammates gets played, the 2 cards that get searched for are played pretty quickly. And there's a Counter Energy and a Silent Lab going to bump the Dimension Valley, which would have allowed the Necrozma to attack with a basic energy, but with a counter energy, it doesn't need it. And now that Silent Lab is going to turn off both Monkey Dory and Giratina's ability, including from the discard pile. Now, Monkey Dory is likely going to get knocked out here, but if Landon were to find a way to bring it back and get one of those, the Silent Lab onto it, shut that ability down. Now, if you're wondering what is the synergy here with Rona's deck, I believe she is running Silent Lab as a tech against the meta because of all of the basic Pokemon abilities she has observed in our local meta. So pretty heads up tech there with the Silent Lab. Landon going to promote the Giratina. And that counter energy is still live for next turn, so that Necrozma is a threat. Landon playing a Necrozma of his own. I'm going to use Buddy Catch, it looks like. Can find a supporter. Use the Quick Ball to get the Necrozma there. Deciding on what to get with Buddy Catch. Buddy Catch, such a fantastic ability to just be able to get whatever supporter you need for that situation. It allows decks like Psychic and Dragon to play really situational supporters that are really powerful, but only in certain situations, because you know you'll be able to get them when you need them. So they'll often play both Raihan and teammates. Things like Acerola, Hexmaniac can be played with those cards. And there is a Raihan, so I guess he did not discard Raihan earlier. So going to use Raihan to put a basic energy from the discard pile onto Gallade. And then going to search out Rescue Stretcher with Raihan, got back Malamar. Okay, so he sequenced that wrong. I guess he should have... You meant to Raihan the Darkness Energy and then use Malamar to Psychic Recharge the Psychic Energy onto the Gallade. So Gallade fully powered up, ready to go, but Tina is stuck in the active and it already has a tool on it, so can't float stone it back to the bench. So Landon gonna have to take a turn off from attacking here, giving Rona another turn to even out the prize count. Rona playing Mysterious Treasure, going to discard Iono, and finds the Tinkatuff as stage 1 for Tinkatink. And still fully powered up with the Necrozma, since it does have a basic Psychic Energy on it. And there's the boss. Boss's orders, going to grab that Gallade before it can start attacking and take the knockout, 160 on the Gallade with the Necrozma with that special energy. And now the prize is even again, 4-4. Landon still technically ahead since it's even going into Landon's turn, but Rona is closing the gap on that 2-prize lead that Landon was able to take early in the game here. Sends out the Tinkatink. Looks like he's going to Psychic Recharge onto the Necrozma. Needs a special energy though. And not really able to power anything up unless he can get a Versus Seeker or something, but he is going to be playing... What is that? An Iono. So both players are going to shuffle their hands to the bottom and draw 4. Which means no chance of getting a Raihan. Or maybe a Lusamine into a Dimension Valley could have done it too. But going to be putting... Okay, interesting. Splitting the energy here. Going to attach from hand 1 to the Giratina and then Psychic Recharge to the Necrozma. So both of them 1 energy away from being able to attack. Gonna need to find a way. Oh, there's an air balloon on the Tinkatink. Gonna switch back to the Giratina, which does have the Fighting Fury Belt. So at 170, he cannot be KO'd by the Necrozma here. He can only attack for 160. And Xatu on Rona's side gonna attach to the Ralts. There's the Cresselia, so full bench for Rona here. The new Cresselia does, for 3 Psychic Energy, it does 160 and you reveal a prize. But you have to be able to reveal a face down prize to use the attack. But very good attacker in Psychic. Only problem is it doesn't work with Dimension Valley, which reduces attacks by 1 colorless, since it's all Psychic cost. We're gonna have an Evo Soda and a Fog Crystal played here by Rona. Gonna find the Tinkatun, which is both a great attacker but also just a great draw card, draw ability. We've now got So now we've got Xatu drawing cards. We've got Tinkaton who can draw 3 cards a turn. Ralts is ready to go for next turn to become a Kirlia. And I think Rona's going to just be digging through her deck like crazy here. Discards the Dimension Valley for the Tinkaton. Evolution Incense, get an evolution. Looks like... So probably wanted the Malamar there, but just had to get the Kirlia. And can't evolve it this turn since the Ralts was just put into play. So sounds like the Malamar was nowhere to be found when she played that Evo Incense. But gonna put the energy on the Necrozma. Since they are even on prizes, so that counter energy is only 1 colorless, but it's still a special energy. And gonna just swing for 160 into the 170 HP Giratina. If she can find a Field Blower next turn, she could get the knockout for free and then take another knockout. But she might have to just be not taking a prize for the next 2 turns, or for the next turn. And that's giving Landon a chance to make a comeback here. We've got Fog Crystal to get another energy. Interestingly though, since he elected to split the energy there, the Giratina only has 1 energy right now. And he can't Psychic Recharge to it since it needs to be on the bench. Oh, but there's a Lusamine. Alright, so we're going to get back Parallel City and the Dimension Valley. Going to bump the Silent Lab. Oh, we're going to do it with Parallel City. Interesting. He could have bumped it with Dimension Valley there and then just attached Psychic from hand to the Giratina and be able to attack. So I wonder how he's going to get the attack off with the Giratina here. But that did force Cresselia to be discarded, as well as looks like the Inkay. So kept the Tinkaton, the Ralts, and the Xatu after the Parallel City, but not going to be able, Landon not going to be able to attack here. So going to attach the Recycle Energy to the Necrozma and going to just have to pass back. Alright, Kirlia coming down for Rona. And going to discard the Wobbuffet. And yeah, both players, I believe both players are running Wobbuffet. And Wobbuffet is completely useless, or almost completely useless in the Psychic matchup, since it only shuts down non-Psychic abilities. It's actually not useless in Landon's deck because of the Monkey Dory. You can do some neat tricks with Monkey Dory and Wobbuffet's attack to take KOs on things. But definitely in Rona, it's definitely an underperformer, and don't want to fill up your bench with that against a Psychic Mirror match. So Fog Crystal here to get the energy she needs. I believe that Tinkaton already has a basic energy on it, so since it attacks for 2 energy and 1 has to be a special energy, you don't really want to put more energy on it. But you also want to draw cards with Xatu, so I think we saw Xatu attached to the Kirlia. And now... And gonna use Lusamine to get back that Silent Lab, as well as the boss's orders, and gonna take the knockout on the Giratina, who will now be stuck in the discard pile. Usually Giratina is super powerful because it can just keep coming back over and over again. But with the Silent Lab in play, it does shut down abilities in play and the discard pile for basic Pokemon. So that Giratina has no ability in the discard pile right now, as long as that Silent Lab is in play. Also hampering Landon's ability to attack without the Dimension Valley as well. Yep, I'm gonna double check, make sure it does shut down Giratina. And was also, because the Giratina was damaged, was able to use Barrier Attack there to take the knockout. So this Necrozma now has 160 effectively. Is going to take 160 damage to knock out, at least for this turn. But Landon down to just Necrozma and Tinkatink. Alright, gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Tulip getting back Ralts and Giratina. You don't see that very often, getting back Giratina with a Tulip, but under the Silent Lab, kind of forced to do so to keep his attacking roster full, as their boss's order is still in Rona's hand, so it has to acknowledge that he can't just let something sit on the bench. And here we go, the Necrozma going to come out for Landon with the Recycle Energy. Also has a counter gain on it. but they are both now even on prizes, able to do 160 to take the knockout through the barrier attack. And Rona gonna send out the Tinkaton, but doesn't have the special energy there yet. Gonna have to try and find a special energy to get that hammer attack to get up to 180. Oh, no, actually not, because Necrozma is weak to Psychic. So that without the special energy, the Tinkaton's actually doing 180 with that special hammer attack due to weakness. So that Tinkaton is ready to go. And there's a Mewtwo as well, and that is going to already be doing 180 since Landon is at 3 prizes. And we're just making sure she's got a ton of abilities. She's got 3 draw abilities. She is drawing, what is that, 7 extra cards each turn right now with Kirlia, Tinkaton, and Xatu if she finds energy. Her deck, that deck must be very low at this point with how many cards she's drawing. Yeah, gonna discard the Mimikyu to draw 2 with Kirlia. Just has a ton of cards in hand. Okay, interesting. Psychic recycle energy on the Tinkaton, and then Hex Maniac here to lock Landon's abilities out even further. So even if he gets rid of the Silent Lab, he's not going to be able to use any of his abilities. Interesting with the recycle energy there, Tinkaton is doing 360 damage due to weakness. So sometimes players do forget about weakness and resistance. It can be easy to forget, especially for weird ones like Psychic being weak to Psychic instead of being weak to either Dark or Metal. It kind of throws some players off. Pokemon Communication from Landon. I'm going to swap one of the Pokemon in his hand for one in his deck. And interesting, shuffling the Gallade in. Wants to keep that Kirlia out. And what does he grab? It looks like he grabbed Tinkaton or Tinkatuff. Can't use Psychic Recharge. Can't use Refinement. Gonna put a Recycle Energy on the Tinkatuff, and it looks like it's just gonna retreat with the Air Balloon, and gonna put the Giratina back up. And Rona is at 2 prizes left, now ahead on prizes, and again, no response from Landon, stuck under the Hex Maniac, not able to get his Pokemon powered up, and not able to stay on top of the Stadium War here as well. I think that's a big one, is Dimension Valley really key for Landon being able to attack. And Rona's deck just not as reliant on that Stadium because she has Xatu and Malamar in her deck. She doesn't quite need to have that Stadium out, and she can afford to knock Landon's Dimension Valley off and keep him off of his cost reductions while still being able to attack with her own attackers. I believe she still has Boss's Orders here, and I wonder if that's going to be the play, to take out either the Malamar or the Kirlia and just totally lock him down, or maybe to take out the Tinkatuff as one of his only attackers for next round. Going through the discard pile here. And looks like Rona is going to be playing Tulip. Going to... Yep, just digging through the deck. I feel like there's only a few cards left. And just putting energy on all of her cards. She's got Necrozma and Inkay back into play. Mewtwo's powered up. Tinkaton's taking another knockout. Down to 1 prize. I'm not sure how Landon could make a comeback on this one. Which he started off so strong with that two prize lead, and that's the great thing about GLC. When you're only taking 1 prize at a time, you might think you're ahead, or you might think you're falling behind, but you can rally with some of these powerful comeback cards and find ways to your opponent just doesn't draw what they need. But Landon does pal pad here for Raihan. And he does have the Gallade in hand, Raihan and Iono. But, I mean, I'm not sure. There's already a Mewtwo with an energy on it on the bench. There's also a Necrozma on Rona's bench. He just needs an energy on the Tinkaton. He needs something like a Lux Cape. But I don't think it's in the deck. Kirlia gonna draw 2 for him. You do always have to be thinking about fighting back though. Like, just because your opponent's on their last prize, there's always options. There might be a way to do it to if you can disable their attackers. Oh, Landon did try to play Giratina under the Silent Lab there. Forgot he needed to play the Dimension Valley first. Psychic Energy, Horror Psychic on the Giratina, Basic Energy from the Malamar, and now gonna use that Shadow Impact. Gonna take the knockout. Perfect math there. That's the nice thing with Giratina on that on that Tinkaton. Got it down to from 140 to 130, able to take the knockout, but the Mewtwo was ready to go, and that Dimension Valley benefiting Rona as much as it benefits Landon, able to take the attack and take the game. So Rona able to get the dub in this Psychic Mirror, and let's hear what the players thought about the game and their card choices.
I mean, I feel like I put the Silent Lab in for Giratina because I knew everyone was playing Giratina, and I think that kind of helped me win. So I was like, because I know he's playing Tina, and I know you play Tina, and I know you play Tina, so I was like, I just want to put Silent Lab in, so.
Metagaming.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hex-Maniac and the Silent Lab.
Yeah.
I feel like Hex-Maniac was actually the more important play.
Yeah, I almost played it again, but then, yeah.
Well, I mean, at that point, the game was
I guess it
already
already, yeah.
I didn't do anything for like half the game, so yeah, it was pretty effective.
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck in the next rounds.
And we follow Rona into round 2, now playing against Angel. Unfortunately, we didn't get a video of the finals match in round 3, but I can tell you that the winner of this game did go on to win the tournament that night. Angel here is a seniors division player and was playing a really novel dragon deck with 10 basic energy and 0 evolutions. He's quite experienced in GLC and has won one of our tournaments previously with his own take on colorless, but recently has expanded into playing the dragon type. Angel mentioned that he found this alternative dragon list online, and I've seen this version of dragon making the rounds online since this tournament, so I think it's becoming fairly popular as an alternative to the standard fast call or Garchomp list. Instead of mainstays like Dragonite and Gabite, this deck relies on Tatsugiri to find the cards it needs, and cards like Reshiram, Mela, and Welder to accelerate basic energy to its big basic attackers, hence the 5 basic fire energy. So Angel going to be starting off here, going first, and did give Rona 1 mulligan, so we're going to be drawing an extra card at the start of the game here. And both players are going to flip over their actives. Angel starting off with the Ultra Necrozma in play. Does 170 damage for 2 energy, but cannot attack as long as the opponent has more than 2 prize cards. So there are ways to get around it, but right now Angel's going to use Nest Ball to get the Regidrago into play. And going to also play the Koraidon that he had in his hand. And going to attach a basic water energy to the Regidrago and pass the turn there. Over to Rona, who's starting off with a Mimikyu in play. Benches a Ralts and has a Quick Ball to find Inkay. Focusing on getting that energy acceleration engine going.
got an energy attached, looks like recycle energy to the Mimikyu, and gonna use that Filch attack to draw 2 cards. Not a bad start for Rona. Gonna come back to Angel here. Looks like we are gonna play down the Drampa. So he is playing the Berserk Drampa, but the only way to turn it on in Angel's deck is actually the Rainbow Energy. I've seen other dragon decks have started using the other Drampa that does 140 for 3 energy if you have 2 or more basic energies. Oh, and there's a Penny. Gonna pick up the Ultra Necrozma to switch into the Regidrago. Then gonna rebench the Ultra Necrozma. Gonna use Palpad to shuffle the Penny back in. Probably just trying to burn cards from his hand so that he can get extra draws with Regidragon's ability, Dragon Horde, to draw back up to 4 cards. He's going to use that ability to draw 3 cards. Finds the Crispin, and that's going to get him the Grass Energy and the Fire Energy onto the Regidrago to be able to attack this turn with the Dragon Fang. And going to take the knockout on the Mimikyu. Angel going up 1 prize to take the lead here in this game on turn 2. And yeah, very aggressive start. Let's see if Rona has an answer here. Did promote the Malamar, or promoted the Inkay Evolved to Malamar, and now has teammates to grab any 2 cards from her deck after taking the knockout from Angel. Looks like one of them is going to be Counter Energy. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to grab a Rescue Stretcher. So gets the Mimikyu back onto the bench. Going to use that Psychic Recharge on the Mimikyu. Probably going to keep that Counter Energy then. Yep, there's a basic Psychic. Looked like a either Floatstone or Air Balloon on the Malamar to retreat. And Copycat going to copy that Dragon's Fang for 160 damage. And going to take the response KO with the Mimikyu, tying up the prize count here 5-5. All right, we've got Energy Retrieval, gets back the Fire Energy and the Grass Energy on Angel's side. There is a Blend Energy that was attached to Koraidon, and a Welder now going to attach 2 Fire Energy to the Koraidon there. Going to use Rescue Stretcher to get back the Regidrago. Attaches the Grass Energy from hand. I'm not sure. Okay, so it looks like there was a gameplay error made last turn. It looks like Angel attached the Blend Energy to Koraidon last turn, and then used the Crispin to attach 2 energy from the deck to the Regidrago. But Crispin can only attach, gives you 1 free attach. So if you burn your energy attached from hand, then Crispin can't help you. So that Grass Energy should not have been able to be attached to the Regidrago, and the Crispin was used incorrectly last turn. But just gonna have to go on from there. So Koraidon able to take the knockout on the Mimikyu with the Shred attack, with the thanks to Welder being able to accelerate the 2 Fire Energy to it. And we see the Malamar gonna recharge, Psychic Recharge onto Cresselia, Counter Energy, and retreats. Cresselia able to take the response KO on the Koraidon. So Rona matching Angel's aggression here, beat for beat, and is staying on top of the prize race. Currently 4-4. We've got, looks like a Muscle Band and a Fire Energy attached to the Regidrago, but I don't. Does Angel have a? Is Angel going to be able to take a KO here? We've got the Drampa that came up with a, it looks like a Floatstone on it. Okay, Guzma gonna bring up Tinkatink, but gonna send out Ultra Necrozma. So a bit of a stall Guzma there, not gonna be attacking this turn. So Rona goes back to Rona's turn. Gonna use Psychic Recharge onto Ralts this time, and attach from hand onto the Ralts. And has a Guzma of her own to bring in the Regidrago and take the knockout with the Cresselia. And that was 2 energy on that Drago. And now Angel down to 2 basics with no energy attached. Gonna use Quick Ball here, discards an energy to get Tatsugiri. And does have the escape rope, gonna be able to get that Drampa out of the active spot. Promotes the Tatsugiri and gonna be able to use that Attract Customers ability here. And it looks like he does have a few options. We see a Mela a Raihan and a Guzma and a Hala being revealed. So can take one of those supporters from the top 7 and put them into his hand. I don't believe he's played a supporter yet. Could Raihan? Can only do 70 with the Drampa though, unfortunately. Could also do 70 with the Tatsugiri. So does he go for the Mela or the Raihan? And he is gonna take the it's tough to tell with the glare there, but it looks like he did take the Raihan and is going to put a fire energy onto the Tatsugiri from the discard pile and going to search his deck for any card. Let's see what he gets. Most likely got a supporter then, since he did not play any cards. He's going to pass the turn with a fire energy on that Tatsugiri. Rona going to be able to retreat the Malamar that she sent up with the escape rope. Going to reveal with Cresselia. Oh, but wait a second. The Cresselia only has counter energy and psychic energy. Actually couldn't attack with it last turn either, I believe it, because the counter energy would have only been providing a colorless. So that was a gameplay error on Rona's side, I believe. I mean, it is a common mistake people make with counter energy when they are even on prizes, thinking it still provides double energy. It's just something, I mean, it shows double rainbow energy as an image on it, but looks like we're going to undo that retreat. So Malamar is in the active still. Always nice to players letting themselves kind of take back mistakes, as long as no new information has been revealed. It hasn't drawn any new cards or anything like that. So I'm gonna retreat the Malamar. Probably doesn't have the energy. Is there no energy in the discard pile for the psychic recharge? Oh, that's right, because the Cresselia actually needs 3 psychic energy, so that counter energy is not providing any energy to that attack. So Cresselia only needs 2 more energy to be able to attack this turn. So one of the downsides of the Cresselia with the fact that it doesn't have any colorless in its attack cost, gonna send out the Ralts. Gonna use the memory skip here with the Ralts to stop the Tatsugiri from using that 70 damage attack. And back to Angel, gonna use the attract customers. Looks like he had double dragon energy and just plops it down onto the Ultra Necrozma. Not sure about that, since Rona is still on 3 prize cards, so he's gonna have to find either a Silent Lab or a Hex Maniac here. Not sure what he's found off of the attract customers. It looks like he is trying to decide, although he's got a decision to make. So it does find a penny that he had shuffled in with the Pal Pad. Oh, if he had just held off on that double dragon, he could have pennied up the Tatsugiri, sent out the Drampa, retreated, and attacked with double dragon. But because he a little bit hastily attached that double dragon to the Ultra Necrozma, he's not going to be able to attack. He is able to use the ability again, though, so you can find another supporter here. Able to use attract customers a second time, since the Tatsugiri is reset when he puts it back into his hand with the penny. And looks like he found a Mela, but obviously can't play it this turn since he already played penny. And of course he can't play it because none of his Pokemon were knocked out either. So I'm guessing Mela was the only supporter he found off the attract customers. So yeah, gonna just have to pass back to Rona, who could just memory skip again. Just kind of got him stuck here. We see, oh, there's the Bills card. So able to look at the top 7 cards and put any 2, I believe any 2 trainers. Yeah, so Bill's analysis, any 2 trainers from the top 7 cards, and that includes stadiums and tool cards, as well as supporters. But looks like gonna find Mysterious Treasure is one of the cards. Gonna discard Wobbuffet here, interestingly. Actually, yeah, Wobbuffet would be very bad for Rona to put into play because it would turn off that ability on Ultra Necrozma and would then allow it to attack freely even if Rona's at more than 2 prize cards. So gonna get rid of that Wobbuffet. Don't want that filling up the bench. And Mysterious Treasure does find a Curlia here. And does have 2 energy on the Ralt, so could evolve and retreat. Yep, gonna evolve into the Curlia. Gonna use Refinement. Discards Air Balloon to draw 2 cards. Still has Psychic Recharge available. Plays down a regular Necrozma with a special laser. Does 160 for 3 energy if it has a special energy attached. Can also just take the knockout for 100. Gonna play down Parallel City, but doesn't do anything to Angel's board since he's only got Drampa and Ultra Necrozma on the bench. Could limit his development and gonna just pass, it looks like. Angel drawing a card for the turn. So we're gonna leave that Curlia out there, and Angel gonna bump the Parallel City with a Giant Hearth. With a Giant Hearth, so can discard a card to look for 2 fire energy. Great card with Welder. Gonna use Attract Customers though. And does find a Cynthia and Caitlyn off the Attract Customers. So could use that to get back any supporter back to his hand, as well as drawing 3 cards. So gonna discard the energy to the Cynthia and Caitlyn. And could get back Raihan or Mela for next turn so he can power things up. Gonna get back Crispin back to his hand, interestingly enough. And then draws 3 cards off the Cynthia and Caitlyn. So might just be passing again for Angel. You can see that Drampa not really living up to his full potential in this deck. Yeah, just gonna attaches the Rainbow to the Drampa. That is unfortunate because Drampa wants damage counters on other bench Pokemon, not on itself. Yeah, I feel like that double dragon on the Ultra Necrozma was a bit hasty. If you can imagine, if he had saved it, he could now have put it on the Drampa and then put the Rainbow Energy on the Ultra Necrozma, and he would have been really cooking there. But yeah, Angel's just gonna have to pass, and now the Hisuian Heavy Ball burned from the hand to find nothing. Might have maybe, I guess, did Refinement into it. So yeah, Rona had 3 prizes.
Oh no!
And oh no. That was a Chorus's Tenacity. So that's probably going to help Rona find what she needs to get her game going, but we know what's in. Angel's checking his phone. He's checking the card on his phone, of course. Double checking the Curem that he is running in his deck to make sure that it works the way he thinks it does. And yes, Curem from Shrouded Fable, if the opponent has any card in the discard pile with the Chorus in its name, can attack for 1 energy. So Rona going to evolve into Gallade here. And did find the Dimension Valley off of the Chorus's Tenacity. Gonna play it, so now able to use that Swirling Slice attack for just 2 energy with the Gallade. I did not see what she used Buddy Catch for. Gonna Psychic Recharge, or no, gonna attach from hand with the Necrozma. Now gonna use a Swirling Slice attack to take the knockout on the Tatsugiri and move the energy down to the Cresselia, it looks like. And there it is. Angel has quick balled for the Curem, and he's very excited that it is in his deck, not in his prizes. Puts the Fighting Fury belt on it, attaches the basic fire energy to it, And the Drampa with the float stone going to be able to retreat. Angel going to use the Mela here to attach. Puts a fire energy on the Drampa, which is not going to be useful at all, but does allow Angel to draw back up to 6 cards in hand. So basically using Mela as a draw supporter there. Going to retreat into the QRM and double checking. Yes, he can attack with just 1 energy. Rona asking, how are you going to power that up? And Angel reminding her that she did play the Tenacity, and there goes the 3 prizes from the Frost attack.
I can't believe you actually play that.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
For content.
Angel going from 4 prizes down to just 1 remaining, and now Rona needs to take 2 prizes before Angel could take his final prize. And because Swirling Slice did put Rona down to 2, okay, so Field Blower, going to get rid of the Float Stone and the Fighting Fury Belt on the QRAM. Going to use Buddy Catch with Gallade here. Needs to... So she did ask if she can get... If she puts Koros' Tenacity back into her hand, does that turn off the QRAM's ability? And it does. So she's going to get Boss's Orders with the Buddy Catch. Oh no, she's going to get Lusamine. Okay, so she's trying to insulate herself here, but the thing is, none of her remaining Pokemon have 110 HP or less. So she's not getting knocked out by Trifrost. What is threatening, though, is that Ultra Necrozma. Because she took her 4th prize with Swirling Slice last turn, the Ultra Necrozma can now attack freely. So she needs to knock out that Ultra Necrozma and remove that as a threat, and that would leave Angel with just the Kyurem and the Drampa. But no, she is going to take the knockout. She needed the stadium to be able to attack there with the Gallade, so she had to Lusamine to get the stadium back. And unfortunately, that means that Ultra Necrozma is still a threat and is able to take the last prize for Angel. I do wonder if instead of attacking there, if Rona had just passed and then hoped that Angel didn't have a way to get Kyurem out of the active, and then on the next turn she could have gone for that Boss's Order play on the Ultra Necrozma and hoped to try to get the win that way. But that makes Angel the winner of this game, and he did go on to win round 3 and get his Dragon Badge for the month. Also, a huge thank you to Rona, who apparently pulled a sick gold rare from her pack, and to Landon and everybody else who played in the October tournament back then at Clubhouse. We're still doing monthly tournaments, first Monday of every month. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you next time.
I got okay. Hold on. Play Hitmonroe, a good deck.